are the best players in the NFL today. Welcome, football fans, to the real top 100 players of 2025. The real top 100 NFL players entering this season. Before I get started ranking and revealing my top 100 players in the NFL entering a new NFL season, Gronk, spike that like button. Let me know in the comment section below. Who's overrated? Who's underrated? Who's too high, too low? And who's just right? Also, don't be a jabroni and subscribe for more NFL rankings just like this. Here we go. My official ranking of the top 100 players in the NFL entering a new NFL season. Let's kick it off with number 100. I couldn't keep the young man, Quinyon Mitchell, off the list. From day one, week one, shutdown corner. I can't believe the NFL let this man slip in the draft right into the fingertips of Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles. I couldn't believe it. From week one through the Super Bowl, he became an island lockdown corner. And honestly, nobody really talks about how he transformed this defense. Without him, they're not the best defense in football. They're not the defense that leads the Eagles to the Super Bowl victory. Everyone talks about Saquon, but I feel like the addition and the draft pick, Quinyon Mitchell, deserves way more love than he really does get. So, at number 100, kicking off the list, young Quinyon Mitchell, already a top 10 corner in the NFL. At number 99, CJ Stroud, despite a sophomore slump, still makes the list. I couldn't keep him off the list because I do believe that CJ Stroud will have a bounce back season in 2025. But his 2024 was a significant drop from the composure, the confidence, and the all-around precision that CJ Stroud really showcased as a rookie. I felt like his game slipped in terms of his presence in the pocket, his ability under pressure, and then even his accuracy, which is his best trait. His ability to just absolutely hit the target, hit the bullseye. That's what CJ Stroud does so well. The quick release, the effortless placement, and overall, the aura. CJ Stroud at his best is calm, composed, and precise. And last year, he was a little too rattled, but I do believe at his best, he's a top 100 player, and I would think he's probably closer to the top 50 after 2025. So even with the down season, not the best stats, I had to keep him on the list. At number 98, Derrick Brown of the Carolina Panthers. Another guy who I simply couldn't keep off the list, even if he barely played. Like, I'm talking not even a game. Derrick Brown barely played in 2024. But in 2023, he set a defensive tackle record for tackles. And without that man, he showcased his value on the field or off the field. When the Carolina Panthers couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense, they couldn't stop the run to save their lives. And that was because big Derrick Brown was off the football field. He's a monster among men, one of the best run defenders in all of football. He slots in at number 98. At number 97, Zach Sealer of the Miami Dolphins. Zach Sealer is one of the most underrated players in the NFL. Now, Derrick Brown, if he would have played in 2024, is most likely above Zach Sealer. But hey, Sealer had a second consecutive 10-sack season. His impact on the pass game is legit. He is an absolute dog who plays with great tenacity and just consistent all-around motor. This guy wrecks plays. And I feel like he has just gotten better and better and better. And I think, once again, one of the more underrated names in the NFL. I wanted to showcase him here on the list at number 97. At number 96, Zach Tom of the Green Bay Packers. Probably the best offensive lineman that nobody talks about. Zach Tom is really, really good, and I think he's the best lineman the Packers have on one of the best, most underrated lines in the NFL, right? He could play pretty much any position across the board. He just so happens to play the right tackle position. He has become quickly one of the best run blocking and all-around right tackles in the NFL. So give Zach Tom a little love in that top-tier tackle conversation. He is number 96. At number 95, Frankie Louvu of the Washington Commanders. I love some Louvu. He can do it all. He reminds me of my guy, Dante Hightower. He can play off the ball and smash into guards' faces. He can play on the edge and rush the quarterback. And he's one of, if not the best, most effective blitzer at the off-ball linebacker position. I think he's deceptively good in coverage. And he's so big, so long, because he's that former edge rush body type that still has that athleticism, quickness, and explosiveness to play as a downhill linebacker, a thumper, a little old school, a little versatile. And I love those type of backers in the NFL. So at number 95, Frankie Louvu, one of only 4 linebackers to make the list. At number 94, I have Josh Hines Allen. Consistently been the Jacksonville Jags' best defender over the last few years. Really, ever since he was drafted. Josh Hines Allen plays with great quickness, great dip and bend, and just consistent production, right? He didn't have quite the sack season that he did last year, but I still felt like across the board, led Jacksonville in terms of their top pressure man. He is a versatile edge rusher, and I just think because he plays in Jacksonville and because his name used to be Josh Allen, I mean, he's been overshadowed in a variety of ways. He plays in Duval. His name's Josh Allen. He literally had to change his name, but he still remains as one of the best edge rushers in the NFL and really in the prime of his career, really forming one of the more underrated tandems in football over there in Jacksonville. So at number 94, I have Josh Hines Allen, a versatile edge rusher from the Jags. At number 93, Kobe Turner of the LA Rams, another very underrated big man in the NFL. Kobe Turner, I don't think gets the love that he should. He's only been in the NFL for 2 years, but he's already put up 2 consistently productive and dominant interior defensive line seasons, whether it be as a run defender, where I think he's the best run defender on the Rams. And I would also say that he is the disruptor. He is the guy that takes the double teams. He anchors the defensive front for one of the best young defensive fronts in the NFL. And I think he's going to super feast this year with Poona Ford coming in there and taking some of the pressure off of him. I feel like Turner is the guy at the centerpiece, at the nucleus of the defense that allowed Jared Verse, that allowed Braden Fisk to really go crazy and have some fun. So I have Kobe Turner at number 93, underrated young defensive lineman. At number 92, Davante Adams. We have 2 consecutive LA Rams. And I don't even know if I really meant to do this, but Davante Adams still can ball. He still can play. I don't think he's the same player he used to be. I thought we saw some indications last year of him falling off. I didn't think he was as dominant on an island, winning on one-on-one reps and separating the way that he used to with his route running, releases, quickness, and overall ability to just break at the top of routes. But he still has incredible hands, incredible body control. He can run every route in the game. He could play all over the formation, every different receiver position. He can route you up at all 3 levels. And he still has just enough juice to run by you if needed. So Davante Adams, I think, is going to be superb with Stafford in LA. A very nice complementary threat to Puka Nacua. I have him at number 92. At number 91, Trey Smith. I believe now the highest paid guard in the NFL, Trey Smith, is an absolute mauler. He, in Kansas City, has maybe been a little overshadowed, by Joe Tooney, a Hall of Famer, by Creed Humphrey, maybe also a Hall of Famer, but the best center in football. And Trey Smith has been that third best among that trio, and it's kind of a little unfair for how good he is. I think really he's the best run blocker of the bunch. I think he's a guy that they run behind on their power runs. And I think one of the big things about the Chiefs last year that allowed them to survive as an offense was early in the year, they were just running the ball for, 3-yard gains, 4-yard gains. Kareem Hunt up the middle, plunging up the middle. And a lot of that had to do with the power of Trey Smith and the ability to just push back defensive lines. Even if they weren't creating explosives, he allows them to create consistent production and consistency through just success on the ground. There's very few negative plays when it comes to Trey Smith, and he is paid accordingly right in his prime. I have him at number 91. At number 90, Tyler Linderbaum. One of the best centers in football for my money of the Baltimore Ravens, anchors the best run game in the NFL. Ever since the Ravens drafted Tyler Linderbaum, their run game, I feel like, has taken it up a notch, even in terms of their explosiveness, their success rate, their overall ability. Linderbaum is a great athlete. He has great feet, great quickness. He's got the little, power, almost like a Jason Kelce-esque type of body to him, right? Like not exactly a mauling, massive offensive lineman, but he just plays with so much quickness. He can get to that second level. He can really, allow the Ravens to do so much versatile run blocking and different schemes and variety because of his ability to make, just move. His ability to make those blocks, to get and reach those linebackers or to cut people off in the run game. Like I feel like his agility is really a strength for this offense that isn't often discussed. So at number 90, Tyler Linderbaum, an absolute wrestler of a center. At number 89, Jalen Johnson of the Chicago Bears, arguably the best zone cornerback in the NFL, statistically, Pro Football Focus speaking, if you're looking at grading and things like that. Jalen Johnson has an incredible sense for routes, has an incredible sense for offenses, when to jump a route, when to leak off the cover 2 cloud and pick off a pass. His ability to just kind of lurk and understand what quarterbacks are trying to do, receivers are trying to do. He is absolutely awesome at that. He's also incredibly patient. I feel like he's pretty good at the line of scrimmage. He's not like the craziest athlete in terms of pure speed or pure size, but I just think his mental game is so sharp, which is what makes him one of the best zone cornerbacks I think there is in football. At number 88, Christian Darrisaw of the Minnesota Vikings. I think the biggest thing I can say about Darrisaw is when he went down, the Vikings fundamentally looked like a different team and a different offense. And Sam Darnold looked like Jet Sam Darnold when Christian Darrisaw went down, right? Even with an adequate tackle in Cam Robinson, they completely changed their ways offensively. They couldn't block as consistently. Darrisaw is really the guy that anchors the offensive line. He's one of the best island tackles in the game, and he's just a great, powerful pass blocker. He's just a dude. So I have Darrisaw here returning from injury at number 88. At number 87, T. Higgins. T. Higgins is one of the artists of the wide receiver position. When we're talking about ranking very highly in my mind at different categories, right? Like contested catches, when we're talking about hands, when we're talking about body control, when we're talking about tracking the football. If you were looking at those specific categories, T. Higgins would be a top 5 receiver in the NFL. I don't think that he has quite become a dominant route runner or an absolutely explosive specimen like his teammate Jamar Chase, but his ability to just make effortless catches and have glue on his hands is next level. So at number 87, T. Higgins. At number 86, I have Antoine Winfield Jr., not senior, junior on the list. One of my favorite safeties in the NFL since he was drafted. I was a huge fan of him coming out of the draft. Huge fan of him with Tom Brady and the Bucs on their way to winning the Super Bowl and dominating football for a couple years there. And Antoine Winfield is one of my favorites because this is a guy that can be versatile. He can play as the strong or the free safety, the box safety, the roaming safety, a blitzer, a tackler in the box. He can play the run. He can play the pass. He can have the range to play nickel corner, right? This is just a guy at his best that can do everything at a high level, and he's a little bit smaller, but he packs a punch. He's got great quickness, very good speed. Antoine Winfield just is reckless in terms of his tackling. He has no regard for anyone on the football field. I just think he plays with the perfect balance of intelligence and also physicality. He didn't have his best year last year. He was injured last year. I had to dock him for that, but I still believe at his best, there are not many safeties that can do more on a field than Antoine Winfield. At number 85, Nick Bonitto. One of my favorites before last year, ascended to becoming the player that I thought, and maybe even beyond the player that I thought. Nick Bonitto is an incredible athlete. First of all, I think as a pure speed rusher, he's one of the best speed rushers in all of football. His ability to jump the snap is next level. His quickness, his bend, next level, absolutely phenomenal. The way that Vance Joseph was able to capitalize on his pure skill set to rush the quarterback speaks volumes. He was a Pro Bowl, all pro almost caliber type of player, but it's the next level athleticism that really shined in his interceptions that he was able to make. You know, his spatial ability as an edge rusher is absolutely phenomenal for a guy that is supposed to be just a pass rusher. So yeah, he has incredible quickness, incredible jolt, incredible athleticism. Nick Bonitto could have a 15 to 20 sack season coming up, and I wouldn't be shocked. Like, he really could be that dominant of a player. At number 84, Tyler Smith of the Dallas Cowboys. I guess one of the more boring entries on the list as a guard, right? But Tyler Smith is a darn good football player for Dallas. He could play tackle, I believe. He could play guard, right? He's very technically sound. And I just think, like, as a pass blocker, there's few better at the guard position than Tyler Smith. He's going to be anchoring that offensive line for years to come. A true Dallas Cowboy in terms of they want that offensive line to be the dominant aspect of their team at their best. That's what the Dallas Cowboys are. Tyler Smith takes over that identity for Zach Martin in the future here, and Tyler Smith is quickly becoming one of the best guards in football. At number 83, Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. A really weird season for Jonathan Taylor last year. The first few weeks, even the first more than half a season, it felt like Jonathan Taylor maybe was a little washed. Maybe he's not himself. Maybe he wasn't producing at the same level. I don't really know why. But then over the last back half of that season, there may have not been a better running back in the entire NFL than Jonathan Taylor. We saw him transform back into the player that we know and love. The home run specialist, the speed and power, right? The feet, power, speed element that he does have. Like, Jonathan Taylor, the thing I love about him is it's one cut, it's one shuffle, it's one jump cut, and it's bam, through the hole for a home run. Jonathan Taylor is on a short list for the guys that you would pick to run an 80-yard touchdown to the house. Like, it's him, Saquon, and maybe Jahmyr Gibbs and Derrick Henry. Like, he's on the very small list of the most explosive playmakers and runners of the football in the entire NFL. Taylor is terrifying. At number 83. At number 82, Dion Dawkins, who I think consistently has been underrated for the Buffalo Bills in blindside protecting Josh Allen. Dion Dawkins has a great personality. He's a great character and a great leader for this team as one of the best teams and franchises in football right now. But Dawkins is just a great pass blocker. He leads the way for one of the best offensive lines in football, and I just feel like I never really notice him get beat in a game in terms of he doesn't really get consistently bullied by any individual. I feel like maybe he once in a while will give up a play or give up a sack or something, but it's very few and far between. Dion Dawkins actually is a player that has gotten better with age, which is kind of an interesting thing at the tackle position. But at number 82, Dion Dawkins. At number 81, Jared Goff. no longer a goof in my mind. I've said it, I'll say it again. I'm a Jared Goff believer. And if it comes back to burn me, then it comes back to burn me. But I finally made a decision on Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is legit good, okay? He did it with the Rams. He did it with Detroit. He's got 2 different NFC Championship appearances with 2 different football teams. He's been one of the most statistically productive quarterbacks in football, no matter the situation. And I feel like last year was his best NFL season. His ability to control the game at the line of scrimmage, his ability to make the right decision and throw the ball to the right spot at the right time, and to just understand at all times where all his options are, all his receivers are, understand the full landscape of the position, understand the full landscape of his offense, where his targets are, right? Being able to check the ball down when he needs to, being able to throw a laser, in the middle of the field, in between 2 defenders when he needs to, being able to throw the ball deep, being able to do, throw it away on a screen pass. Like Jared Goff, I really feel like mentally is one of the more advanced quarterbacks there is in football, and I like his style. I think he's tough. He's not absolutely outrageously talented, but I feel like he combines a good, strong arm with toughness and with mentally being really sharp. So at number 81, Jared Goff. At number 80, Vita Vea, a big, absolute vehicle of a nose tackle. He takes up so much space. He is the biggest, monstrous human being in the middle of a defense you will ever see. It's hard to run the ball straight up the middle on Tampa because you got big Vita Vea right in the middle. You can't do it. And then on top of that, he's a great pass rusher, man. He can really get after it. He's explosive, he's quick, and he's extremely powerful. There are some centers in the league that if the Bucs are playing you, you almost can't start that guy. He's too small. He can't actually block Vita Vea. And the entire game, they have this big 350-pound dude sitting in the lap of their quarterback because he's just bulldozing him into the quarterback. So Vita Vea is a game wrecker. He truly is the definition because he can bulldoze you in the pass game. He can bulldoze you in the run game, and you can't even run certain plays against Vita Vea. That's the way it goes. So at number 80, Vita Vea. At number 79, his name is Scary Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin had the most electric season of his career. Maybe not the best, but the most electric and definitely the most discussed, right? Like everybody was all over, wow, he really is this good. You know what I mean? Like for years, he's been productive, 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards with bums and bums and bums and a bunch of different quarterbacks, no names, big names. Now he's got Jaden Daniels. All of a sudden, he's second in the NFL in touchdowns. All of a sudden, he's leading the NFL in contested catches. But Terry McLaurin, man, he has that vertical speed and that contested catch ability that makes him one of the best X receivers in all of football. So I have him at number 79. At number 78, Drake London. Drake, in 2024, probably became the best Drake there is on planet Earth. I think that Drake London really had a huge year that people don't talk enough about. 100 catches, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. How many other receivers could possibly say that? Actually, only like 3 or 4 others last year. Drake London was on a short list of elite production last season. He is a better route runner and a better separator than given credit for. He is massive. He is one of the biggest receivers in football, and he always pulls off the subtle move to create yards after catch. Drake London is only just getting started at number 78. At number 77, Kirby Joseph of the Detroit Lions, leading the NFL in interceptions. Kirby Joseph has an argument right now for being the best young free safety in all of football. His ability to have those instincts, that recognition, and the break on the football is outstanding. His ability to play that deep, that deep solo safety in the middle of the field, that robber in the middle of the field at times. His ability to just on man coverage, blitzing, doing it all, and just covering up and breaking on the football. There was not a safety that made more big plays in the entire NFL. I believe he was PFF's number 1 graded safety last year. Absolutely an outstanding season for him, and he has really started his career in a very promising way, becoming maybe the most underrated player on the Lions. A lot of people don't talk about Kirby Joseph in terms of what he's done, what he's achieved because of the offense, because of Aiden Hutchinson. There's a lot of bigger names, but Kirby Joseph has been as productive as any in recent seasons. At number 76, Jonathan Grenard of the Minnesota Vikings. Jonathan Grenard is an animal. I think that's the best way to describe him. His consistency, his relentlessness, his motor, and then the way he's utilized by Brian Flores in that defense. He went from Houston being a very productive player, breaking out under D'Amico Ryans, to Brian Flores' constant blitz scheme, his ability, Grenard, to take advantage of one-on-ones, to be one of the best technical pass rushers that there is in the game with his hands and his ability to just rip and get underneath of guys and use his leverage and his power and his quickness combination to sack the quarterback. There was no guy that was better in terms of pressuring quarterbacks. Jonathan Grenard at number 76. At number 75, Brian Thomas Jr. of the Jacksonville Jags. Brian Thomas Jr. is a clone of Randy Moss. That, I don't say that lightly. I don't say it lightly at all. But this man is 6'4", 6'5", runs a 4.2 something, and he's a flash. And he's one of the biggest deep threats there is in football. He tracks the ball extremely well, and he's a better route runner than give it credit for. He can stop on a dime, break back to the ball, and then once he gets the ball in his hands, you better watch out because he's faster than every corner on your team. Brian Thomas is electric, man. That's the best way to describe him. He is a home run waiting to happen, a true X number one receiver, made in Madden, create a player. That's why he's at number 75. At number 74, Quinnen Williams of the New York Jets. Quinnen Williams may have not had his most dominant season. Of course, he had to deal with the shakiness and the uncontrollables of the coaching switch, which definitely did hurt him. And at times, I feel like Williams does get washed in the run game more consistently than others. But in terms of being a complete powerhouse defensive tackle that constantly is double teamed, constantly asked to anchor a defensive line, constantly asked to be the most disruptive, dominant defender on his defense, Quinnen Williams has been that since day one, has been that since his rookie season. He is one of the pure, most athletic, powerful behemoths of a defensive lineman you'll find in football, a pure three-tech. At number 74, Quinnen Williams. At number 73, Buda Baker is at number 73. He had a cajillion tackles. I don't even know, like 160. I don't know, some crazy number. But Buda Baker, you can understand why he has so many tackles. Every game he plays is like his last. He's flying around the football field. Who's there? It's Buda Baker. Who's there? It's Buda Baker. Who's making the play? It's Buda Baker. He's all over the place, bro. He's all over the place. He can blitz. He can tackle. He has great instincts. He is a just absolute shot out of a cannon playmaker on defense. And he is a guy that can change a game in one play, whether it be an interception, whether it be a sack, whether it be a tackle for loss, a big hit. Buda Baker is the Energizer Bunny for the Arizona Cardinals. At number 72, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is the running back you wouldn't want to face in a dark alley. This guy is scary running at you. He combines power. He combines quickness. He really becomes a physical force on the football field. He can stiff arm you to the dirt. He can run around you, right? He just brought the Packers to a new level last year in terms of their run game, in terms of their physicality, in terms of their ability to play in cold weather. Josh Jacobs brought something different to the table that the Packers were not known for previously, and he brought a punch to the Packers. At number 71, Quinn Miners of the Denver Broncos, quietly one of the best guards in the NFL, anchoring one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. I believe PFF's number 2 offensive line in the NFL last year and entering the year. Quinn Miners has the last couple years constantly been graded in the top 3 or 4 guards in the NFL. He's the best offensive lineman on one of the best offensive lines protecting Bo Nix. He is at number 71. At number 70, Zach Allen, back-to-back Broncos on the list. Zach Allen led the NFL. I believe he was tied with Chris Jones at the interior defensive line for the most pressures in the NFL among interior defensive linemen. He was also by far the leading man in terms of quarterback hits at the interior defensive line position. Zach Allen is a technician. Zach Allen has the tools to beat you and absolutely embarrass you on the inside. He's got great length, great leverage, great hands, and I think it's really difficult to get around him as a running back because he can reach for you. As a quarterback, this guy never gives up on a play. He's going to make you feel it. He is, in my opinion, one of the more underrated defenders in all of football. At number 69, Jalen Hurts deserves the acclaim of the great number 69. Shout out to Gronk. Gronk spiked the like button, baby. Jalen Hurts is number 69 because Jalen Hurts is a big game player. Jalen Hurts has this demeanor that allows him to go out in the biggest games and never fail and never say die. Jalen Hurts is a great leader. Jalen Hurts is a playmaker. Jalen Hurts is maybe not a perfect passer, but a great athlete. He is the tush-push specialist, and I just feel like he has nails. He doesn't make a lot of bad decisions. He constantly comes up with big plays in the big moments. Sure, he has a lot around him. Sure, he has a great O-line. Sure, he can hold on the ball longer than others. Sure, he has A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. But you still need to be nails. You still need to be big time. You still need to be composed. You still need to lead the way as your quarterback of the championship team. And Jalen Hurts did all of that and more in 2024. At number 68, DeForest Buckner. Maybe the most intimidating defender in the NFL. He's about 6'6", 330 pounds. He wears a visor and has the craziest face mask you've ever seen. DeForest Buckner is absolutely the most underrated interior defensive lineman. When I talk about interior defensive lines in the NFL, DeForest Buckner has been a force on the 49ers. He's been a force for the Colts. He's great as a pass rusher. He's consistently productive in his pressure numbers. This is a guy that consistently has put up a lot of sacks. He didn't play the full season last year, but this guy just constantly gets disrespected. He's been good for so long. He's literally the best player on the Colts defense, and yet for some reason he's left off list after list after list. On my list, he's number 68. Number 67, we've got a guy that got Defensive Player of the Year votes. Christian Benford of the Buffalo Bills. Now, I don't think he's quite that good, but hey, he's really damn good. Last year, he was one of the best corners in all of football. He was among the best in terms of passer rating allowed. He can take the football away. He's really good in terms of his size and a really long cornerback. But I feel like he can allow the Bills to play man-to-man. He can allow the Bills to play zone. And I just feel like he's always in the right spot. He has a great understanding of Sean McDermott, this defense, what they want him to be able to do. And he's been consistently underrated. I think last year was his true breakout huge year. And now he's just solidified himself as one of the best players in every secondary in football. At number 66, Marlon Humphrey. One of the best playmaking corners in football. Marlon Humphrey established himself as a great nickel for the Ravens last year. Really, getting that role back. He's played kind of interchangeably as the perimeter corner and a nickel corner throughout his career. I think he's found a home in these, last year, now entering this year, back at that nickel spot where he forces fumbles more than any corner in football. He punches the ball out, right? He gets his hands on the ball, returns it for touchdowns. I think he had 6 picks last year, 2 or 3 forced fumbles. This guy had 8 or 9 total turnovers forced. He's a big corner that's physical, that if he gets his hands on you, good luck because he's stronger than 99% of receivers. And yeah, he's just a guy that could play outside, a guy that could play inside, probably could play safety. I think he's extremely versatile and one of my favorite secondary players in the NFL. At number 65, Baker, the commercial maker, had his best season in the NFL at number 65, 40-plus touchdowns. I believe he was top 3 in touchdowns, top 3 in passing yards, was one of the MVP candidates that didn't get enough love, didn't get enough accolade. Baker is a gamer, man. I love his mentality. I love the way he plays. I love, his leadership skills. this is a guy that had to follow Tom Brady, and since then, he's won the division back-to-back years. He fell a little short in the playoffs last year, but he played great in that game. Baker just balls, man. This guy does not care about turning it over every once in a while. He's going to rip the rock down after down after down. This is a guy that knows how to go out there and create big explosives, how to lead the way to victories. He's not afraid. He's never afraid. He's never going to back down. And that's why his entire Buccaneer teammates and his team believes in him. At number 65, at number 64, Roquan Smith. Still one of the best linebackers in football. Had a down season, in my opinion, Smith did in 2024. Little lost in coverage, it felt like. Little lost without Mike McDonald last year. Maybe looked a little slower, but as the season went on and they figured out the emphasis of the defense, they figured out what they were going to be and what they were going to do. And Roquan locked in. When Roquan's at his best, he's got the range to cover. He's got the relentlessness to play the run, and he is a absolute mastermind like Ray Lewis in the middle of a defense. He's one of the smartest in the middle, and that's why I still have him on the list at number 64. At number 63, Denzel Ward. Maybe the most underrated corner of his generation. I was thinking about this the other day. I really feel like Denzel Ward is not appreciated enough. He led the NFL in passes defense last year. He's one of the best man-to-man corners of his generation. His speed, his technique, his ability to play press at the line of scrimmage for a guy that isn't overwhelmingly big. I feel like Denzel Ward can lock down just about any receiver at his best in the NFL. He gives Jamar Chase more issues than any receiver or any corner does a receiver in the NFL. And yeah, like they ask him to play more man coverage than just about any corner there is in the NFL. There's no guy that's asked to play on an island more than Denzel Ward. Like this guy is absolutely so good. And I just don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. At number 62, Brian Branch. Brian Branch is a dog in Detroit. Like this is a bite your kneecap guy. Like he literally goes low and bites your kneecap off. He is at that nickel spot. He's at that safety spot. He's all over the place, man. He's got that quickness to be able to track down slot receivers and cover them and not get routed up. He's got the ability at safety to have the instincts, the physicality to tackle. He's got the ability to cover with range. Brian Branch is a great player, and it feels like he's just ascending to his absolute peak. At number 62, at number 61, Zach Bond with the breakout of 2024. Zach Bond, wow. I was instantly impressed in week 1 all the way to the Super Bowl. It felt like you weren't surprised by the Super Bowl seeing him intercept the pass because you saw it early in the year. He was lurking quarterback after quarterback after quarterback in the middle of the field. I don't know if there was a better coverage linebacker in football last year, and you combine that with the ability of Zach Bond to be able to blitz, be a timely blitzer, be a physical force in the run game. I mean, he was probably toe for toe, man for man, arm for arm, head for head, the best linebacker in football last year. This guy was pound for pound the dude in Philadelphia. At number 61. At number 60, Trey McBride. Trey McBride is so good. I feel like Trey McBride does not get enough love because so many people just talk about Brock Bowers. But Trey McBride was just as good as Brock Bowers last year. Trey McBride is a first down converter. Trey McBride is a drive starter. Trey McBride is a one-on-one route runner. Trey McBride is a 100 catch guy. Trey McBride does it all. Like, he is the number 1 receiver for Kyler Murray in Arizona. Marvin Harrison Jr. my ass. It's Trey McBride. He's tougher than you. He's more physical than you. He wants it more than you. Trey McBride is a fun football player, man. He is a football player's football player. At number 59, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is a special specimen, a special athlete, quick as a whip, bro. This guy can move like lightning. And he can go down the field. He is not the biggest or the tallest, but he also can make those incredible leaping catches. Malik Neighbors was electric as a rookie with no-name quarterbacks, bizarre quarterback play. He got more volume than any receiver in football last year as a rookie from the first week to the end of the year. Malik Neighbors was routing you up. He was separating. He was getting open. He is a absolute demon in the open field. Malik Neighbors could be the best receiver in football in short order. At number 58, Xavier McKinney of the Green Bay Packers. A playmaker, a absolute presence for the Packers last year in terms of upgrading the defense. Two things happened, right? They changed their defensive coordinator. Halfley came in and changed the scheme up, and McKinney was their big signing, and he communicated to that secondary. He communicated to those linebackers. He got the defense in the right position, and he lurked quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. It began in week 1, and it continued throughout the year. McKinney can do it all. I've seen him play as a box safety. I've seen him play as a tight end stopper. I've seen him play as a free safety. I've seen him lead the league in interceptions. I've seen him do it all, and he's still really young at number 58. At number 57, Jared Verse, the defensive rookie of the year. I have not seen many rookies dominate physically the way that Jared Verse dominated. His presence to be able to just bully tackles down after down after down, set the edge, bull rush people, get in the face of quarterbacks. His sack numbers are extremely misleading because of the presence he consistently brought to this pass rush. If there was one singular reason why the Rams got so much better by the end of the year as a defense and as a pass rush from one year to the next, it was Jared Verse, baby. At number 57, the defensive rookie of the year. At number 56, Danielle Hunter, the ageless Danielle Hunter. When you look like that, I guess you're ageless. You know, this guy doesn't have a sliver of fat on him. He looks like he was in a creative player in Madden. He's got the speed. He's got the physicality. He's got the ability to play inside, the ability to play outside. He's got the power. He's got the quicks. He's got the shuffles. He could do it all, bro. Danielle Hunter, he's like getting up there now, but he's just 10 sacks. Is there a guy that is more of a lock to be a 10-sack guy in the NFL over the last 10 years than Danielle Hunter? Like, I'm not sure if there is one. At number 55, I have Quentin Nelson, who reclaimed his role as an elite guard in 2024, right? He was graded exceptionally last year. He is at his best an absolute baller of a run blocker. He just bullies people in open space. He's got that ability to just engulf you in open space and open up those huge running lanes for Taylor that we saw at the back half of this season. And he's a technically sound, proficient pass blocker as well. Quentin Nelson is the real deal. He has been one of the most acclaimed guards in the NFL in this era. At number 54, Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is a scary individual. Jeffrey Simmons is keeping you up late at night. Jeffrey Simmons is going to bully your center, bully your guard, and dominate in all facets of football. There is not many, if any, defensive tackles that are more well-rounded at destroying and effing plays up more than Jeffrey Simmons. At number 53, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the converter. He is the chain mover. He is the quick little jitterbug of the Detroit Lions. He can take yards after catch underneath. He can route you up from the slot and convert a 3rd and 15. He breaks over the middle. You know where the ball's going, and he still gets it done. He's a red zone threat. He was able to stretch the field a little bit more last year. Jared Goff relies on this guy on every big play, in every big game. Every defense knows that it's going to him, and they still don't stop Amon-Ra. At number 52, you got Matthew Stafford, a former Detroit Lion. Matthew Stafford is still slinging the rock. And there are not many quarterbacks in football that you'd rather have in a big game on a big Sunday than Stafford. Stafford, he still has a lightning fast rocket arm. He can, of course, every single arm slot, every single arm motion imaginable, angle imaginable. He's going to sling it. He can fit the ball into the tightest of tight windows, and he's got a command, a vision, and a sight for the game now that he never had when he was younger. He's tougher than nails. At number 52, Stafford. At number 51, Sauce Gardner. He slipped up last year a little bit. He did, but he still had a really good year. I feel like he was still underrated last year because people are saying he sucked. He didn't suck. You know, maybe made himself look a fool a little bit off the field sometimes, but Sauce can still really shut down a bunch of, if not every receiver in football on an island. He's physical. He's got the combination of height, length, and quick feet. That's hard to get by. It's hard to route him up because of the quick feet and the lateral agility. It's hard to get by him because of the physical reach advantage and the ability to get his hands on you. Sauce Gardner, maybe a little too handsy at times, but at his best, nobody has more swagger. Nobody has more sauce than Sauce Gardner at the corner position. At number 50, Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, still remains in the top 50, despite his worst season I've seen from him since his rookie season. And yeah, he has some off-the-field concerns right now. He's got to glue his head on straight. But we all know that the cheetah can be the most dangerous receiver we've ever witnessed on a football field. There's nobody with more speed, more acceleration, more game-breaking ability, a bigger deep threat in football at his freakiest, at his fastest, at his best. Tyreek Hill is simply unstoppable. So I have him at number 50. At number 49, the young Christian Gonzalez, who I believe has the upside and the ability to every bit be the best corner in football. His mere match man skills are unmatched. He has incredible smooth hips. His hips are like Shakira, baby. They don't lie. He's fast. He's extremely fast. He's got really good height. He's great in press. He's good in zone. Christian Gonzalez is a shutdown corner, man. At number 48, Michael Evans. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. Mike Evans, nobody has done what he's done. Nobody's achieved what he's achieved. Nobody's been as consistent as Mike Evans. Mike Evans is still, in my opinion, the best red zone threat at wide receiver. He's still a really great X receiver who can burn you down the field and out jump you and win a jump ball and still, in a big game, dominate like he did against the Commanders in the playoffs. Mike Evans is still that guy. At number 47, Leonard Williams. Wow. What a season from Leonard Williams in 2024. He popped right back into the top 5 interior defensive linemen in football with his ability to do it all. Sack the quarterback 12 plus times in Seattle, right? Play the run and dominate. Use his length, use his power, use his size and his savvy as a vet. And then also block kicks. I mean, this guy was intercepting passes off former teams. He's at number 47. At number 46, I have Justin Herbert. The heat off the cannon of Justin Herbert is simply unmatched. This guy can rip the rock. He's really smart. He's very technically sound, very good mechanics. Justin Herbert, first in interception percentage. Protect the football. He played the way his coach wanted him to play. Rip the rock in big situations and protect the football. We're going to run it. We're going to play good defense. They got back to the playoffs because Herbert bought into Harbaugh. Now it's the question, can Herbert elevate the entire organization? Heat up at the right time in the playoffs. At number 45, Puka dee-doo. At number 46, I got Puka Nacua. All he's got to do is stay healthy, and if Puka Nacua does that, this guy could lead the NFL in catches. He's an absolute unstoppable force. He was catching more passes than just about anybody on a game-to-game basis. He led the NFL in yards per route run when he played last year. He's one of the best yards after catch threats. He's one of the most physical receivers. He's a joy to watch, man. I love watching Puka. At number 44, Trent McDuffie, Ultra's favorite cornerback. Trent McDuffie can play inside. He can play outside. He can man you up. He can blitz. He's a big game player. He's a situational game stealer in terms of his ability to align and give him an assignment. He'll shut it down. He is, to me, the most valuable piece of this secondary, the most valuable, maybe the most valuable piece of the defense. He's right there with Chris Jones for Spags because his ability to do it all, play inside, play outside, play man, play zone, blitz, tackle, he just does it all, man. He's really, really good. At number 43, Trent Williams. Not quite the Trent Williams of a couple years ago, but he's still one of the best tackles in the NFL. He's a future Hall of Famer. He might be the best damn tackle we've ever seen. Trent Williams is an absolute beast. He is fast. He is big. He's powerful. He can move you. He can dominate you. I mean, how many times have you seen Trent Williams actually get beat in your lifetime? I have not seen him get beat very many times at all. Still, number 43. And number 42, Joseph Tooney. He moves to the Chiefs, to the Bears. He's getting his acclaim. He's getting his accolades. He's getting his applaud because now people are realizing that Joe Tooney is one of the best pass blockers that football has ever seen at the guard position. He's a future Hall of Famer in my opinion. He's what, like an 18-time Super Bowl champion at this point? He's just a dog. I've never even heard Joe Tooney speak. I don't know what he sounds like. But all I know is that he'll block you. That's what I know. At number 41, Christian McCaffrey. He was really hard to rank. I don't know where to rank CMC because when he's on the football field, there is simply no football player that is better than Christian McCaffrey. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He has the best vision at the running back position. He can route you up out of the backfield. He can beat you on a wheel route. He can beat you on an option route. He can beat you on a home run. He can do it all. He's a red zone threat. Christian McCaffrey's tough. He can pass block. Christian McCaffrey can do everything. He's Marshall Faulk of this era. Christian McCaffrey, number 41. At number 40, William Anderson. At number 40, Will Anderson is an absolute game wrecker. He can do it all. He can rush the quarterback with power. He can rush the quarterback with technique. He can rush the quarterback with quickness and bend. He can wreck a play in the run game. He's physical. He plays with an edge. Will Anderson, he's screws loose. At number 40, this guy could win the Defensive Player of the Year this year. At number 39, Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates, once again, I didn't even know. He forced like 4 fumbles last year. Why didn't anyone tell me that? Like, he forced more fumbles than any safety in the NFL. He had a bunch of picks as well. Jesse Bates is the best free safety in football. His range, his ability to read and react and to track down the football in the air and hit the guy and make a play on the ball and contest a catch. He simply bails out the Falcons more than any free safety in football. At number 38, Jordan Mailata. There will be at least one Eagles fan in my comments that says Jordan Mailata should be higher, Mitch. He should be higher. Now, I'm a little bit lower on Mailata than some others, but I still think he's an absolute behemoth. He is a monster. He is a absolute beast, okay? I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. He's a beast. It does help that he has other beasts around him. It's probable that he's not the best tackle on his own team. I will say that. But when the Saquon's running for big gains, do we not think big Jordan Mailata with his physical prowess moving in space is not a huge reason why Saquon Barkley is going screaming down the field? So at number 38, Jordan Mailata. At number 37, Jalen Carter. Back-to-back Eagles. Jalen Carter is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate at the defensive tackle position. This guy can win in the pass and the run game with power, okay? He's also incredibly good with his hands, just wrenching people around, ripping through them, arm over, getting through, and I love the way that he plays with physicality. I love the statement he sets. I love that he's a gravitational pull for the defensive line to make everyone around him better. Jalen Carter is physical, quick, powerful, fast, explosive. He has the complete package of an interior defensive lineman. At number 36, Chris Lindstrom. Arguably the best guard in football. I believe I have him ranked here as the top guard. PFF has ranked him numerous times as the top guard in the NFL. He is definitely the best zone blocking guard there is in the run game. You might argue there's more complete guards in the league, but in terms of his overall ability in that zone blocking scheme with the Atlanta Falcons, this guy is just sensational. Chris Lindstrom honestly doesn't get enough love. Like, nobody talks about Chris Lindstrom. I guess he's a guard. He plays in Atlanta. Nobody wants to bring him up in the top 40 conversation, but he fully deserves it with his consistency so far throughout his career. At number 36. At number 35, Creed Humphrey, the center for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Creed Humphrey is a beast. Creed Humphrey, he is an absolute brick wall in pass protection. He is an absolute mover in the run game. As I mentioned earlier with his teammate, Trey Smith, this is the guy that moves defensive linemen. This is the guy that signals and helps Pat Mahomes in the pass protection department. This is a guy that simply, there's no pressure on Mahomes on the inside. Creed Humphrey is stonewalling you down after down. He's the best center in football. At number 34, the ageless wonder, Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward is a bully. Cam Hayward is huge. I don't think people realize he is a fridge. He's a human fridge in the middle of a defensive line, and he's still got enough of that savvy, that quickness, that spark in his game, along with pure bully power, long arm, just boot you off and just get in the backfield and beat your butt. Cam Hayward is number 34. He had a spectacular year last year. He was top 3 in interior defensive line. PFF grade, I think he was first, overall. Still playing an all-pro level, which is spectacular for his age. At number 33, the leading sacker in the NFL last year, Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendo, man, this guy just has a relentless motor. This guy's ability to use his hands, his ability to rip, his ability to just tuck under you, get low, dip across, get to the quarterback. There is not a guy that single-handedly carried a pass rush more in the NFL than Trey Henderson, right? A little bit weaker against the run than some of the elite defensive linemen, but as a pass rusher, there are not many that are as good as Trey Hendrickson. At number 32, Max the Madman Crosby had a down year last year, typically a top 20, even top 15 ranked player for me, but Max Crosby didn't have the production, dipped last year with the injuries. He's a guy that plays through injuries. He's a guy that plays through pain. That hurts his production overall, but there is not a guy that's played more snaps in the NFL over the last few years. This guy doesn't come off the field. It's like an event when he's not playing a snap. And he absolutely has great get off. He has really good ability to just sense the snap. And his ability to win as a run defender, I think it's the best in football when he's at his best. Max Crosby really lives up to his nickname. This guy is somebody that is relentless, absolutely relentless, never gives up. At number 31, Aiden Hutchinson is at number 31. Aiden Hutchinson, my brother from another mother, is absolutely awesome. I only wonder, what he would have been, what he would have done in 2024 if he would have been able to stay on the field and he didn't get injured. It was honestly depressing for not only Detroit, but for myself to see Aiden Hutchinson go down, to see Aiden Hutchinson get injured, because that guy was having a spectacular sack season. He might have been the defensive player of the year. This year, he's having a great camp. I hope that he sparks the Lions defense to get back to where they were headed. He's the best defender on their team. He's got all the tools. He's got the size. He's got the length. He's got the quickness. He's got the motor to be a dominant defender. And I think he's about to have his best full season of his NFL career at number 31. At number 30, Bijan Robinson. Saquon Barkley said it himself. He said it best, right? Bijan, there's nobody that moves like Bijan in football. There's nobody that has better cuts, better feet than Bijan. His ability to make a 3-yard run into a 6-yard run, his ability to make a negative run into a 3-yard run. There's nobody better with his vision, his cuts, his preciseness, that his feet are not from this planet. This guy can sharp cut, redirect, and move like nobody's business. I don't think he has the pure acceleration or speed of some of the other elite runners in this game, but his ability to just cut, stop, start, go, there, back, forward. He's just unbelievable. Like, he's the best in that regard. I think he has very soft hands. He's a very good receiver. He is really yet to see his best seasons in the NFL. At number 30, at number 29, Brock Bowers is at number 29. Brock Bowers might as well be Brock Lesnar. He was suplexing defenses left, right, center week after week, bro. This guy looked in the training camp, the draft everyone's like, who's this bald rookie? Who's this guy with no hair? He's not as big as Gronk. How's this guy going to be any good? This guy's just a football player. He goes out there and he fools with his food, bro. He goes out there and he fools with the defense. He routes you up. He's quick. He's bigger than you. He's too quick for linebackers. He's too big for safeties and corners. What do you do with this guy? You put him in motion. He wins after the catch. He's a great underneath target. I mean, it's just the beginning for Brock Bowers. At number 28, I have Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels is at number 28. Jayden Daniels is a superb, composed athlete. There are not many rookies that you'll watch, you'll witness, that have the demeanor, that have the consistency, that have the feel, the command of Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels, it doesn't matter if it's before a play, while the play is happening, with a rusher in his face, while he's scrambled to the right, looking downfield, whether it's in the biggest game of his life or not, Jayden Daniels has the same level of energy, the same vibration. Jayden Daniels is an incredible scrambler, incredibly elusive, a very accurate pinpoint passer on time, right? Jayden Daniels, we'll see what he can do as a sophomore. At number 27, Nicholas Bosa. The bear named Bosa is a bully of offenses. This guy, Nick Bosa, man, I love this guy's game. I just feel like he's powerful. He's got explosiveness. He's got one of the best first steps at the position. He's got the technique. He can beat you in a plethora of ways. He can set the edge. And he was the only damn Niner that was doing anything on defense last year. This guy was destroying teams individually. When he wasn't on the field, the Niners looked like they had a JV defense. Like, Nick Bosa was absolutely playing injured too, and still going out there and giving his all and beating the best tackles in football on a consistent basis. At number 26, CD Lamb. In my opinion, maybe the most versatile receiver there is in terms of being elite at perimeter and in the slot. His ability to run routes at the middle of the field, the short and intermediate area, is as elite as any player there is in football. His yak dimension is also scary for defense and secondaries. They have to tackle him. His ability to translate from receiver, route runner to, yak guy to ball in hands playmaker is next level special. I think Hall of Famer talent. He needs to continue that production, but the last couple of years, man, this guy's been at the top of the NFL at number 26. At number 25, George Kittle. Stone cold George Kittle. This guy plays like Stone Cold Steve Austin on the football field. He goes out there and he blocks you into the dirt. He throws you out of the club. The next play, it's Kittle down the middle. The next play, it's Kittle in the red zone for 6. The next play, he's stiff-arming you into the ground. There isn't an NFL playmaker that makes more plays in more dimensions of the game than George Kittle. Still the best tight end in football for the multiplicity, for the versatility. George Kittle, speed, size, power, and a lot of fun. At number 24, A.J. Brown. We're talking size, we're talking speed, we're talking athleticism. There are few receivers in the history of football that match A.J. Brown's ability to beat press, to beat man, to burn you, to beat you in yards after catch, to win a slant and go for 6, to beat a top corner in a big game on a go route. A.J. Brown is a defender's nightmare. He's too fast, he's too big, he's too strong. He's just an absolute bully. A.J. Brown is a baller. At number 23, I have Nico. Simply Nico Collins. At number 23, there isn't a more complete receiver in the game. When we're talking about speed, size, hands, route running, when we're backing it up with statistics. Top receiver in yards per route run over the last 2 seasons. Not 1, 2. When we're talking about a receiver that can win after the catch in the screen game. When we're talking about a receiver that can win down the field. When we're talking about a receiver that's the best against press coverage, the best against man coverage. It's Nico Collins. Nico Collins is a pure X that can do it all. At number 23, at number 22, Derwin James. Derwin James, as Kyle Van Noy put it, or as Matt Judon put it, one of the former Patriot defenders, said, every time I watch the Chargers, there's one guy making all the tackles. It's Derwin James. And he's not wrong. Derwin James is all over the football field. Derwin James is a matchup specialist safety that is very rare. He can play man-to-man against Travis Kelce at his prime, press him, run him into the ground. He can also play man-to-man against a slot receiver and lock him up. He can also play against a top tight end and lock him up. He can play as a blitzer, a roamer at the line of scrimmage. He can play as a free safety down the field. Derwin James is a leader, a vocal communicator, an absolute physical presence. Derwin James is a Hall of Fame talent. At number 21, Jahmyr Sonic Gibbs. Sonic, the fastest, quickest home run threat in the game today. Whoop! That's what you hear when you see Jahmyr Gibbs in the open field. Whoop! He's by you. He's past you. He's morphed through you. It's like playing the Flash on the football field. He's quick. He's a great route runner. He is a very good receiver. He's a dynamic screen threat. He is sensational. He's electrifying. He's Jahmyr Gibbs. At number 20, Derek Stingley. Closing in as the best corner in football, led the NFL in completion percentage allowed, led the NFL in passer rating allowed. Statistically, he might have been the best corner in football. He can lock you up in man-to-man. He can play that quarter scheme of DeMeco Ryans. He's got effortless, smooth transition and speed, and he is sensational. He's Derek Stingley. At number 19, Penei Sewell. In my opinion, the player that unlocked the Detroit Lions' overall identity is Penei Sewell. That draft pick did more for Detroit than any move that they have made. His ability in the run game is unmatched. Penei Sewell is a player that you can do things with that you can't do with other players. He is a bully. He's physically superior to 99.9% of tackles. And he is a lockdown island tackle as well. Sewell is spectacular. At number 19. At number 18, the king reigns supreme. Derrick Henry. Last year, the most yards for any 31-plus-year-old running back. Derrick Henry rumbled, ran, and sprinted to end zones for 1,900 friggin' yards. This guy had another ridiculous season on the Ravens, scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. The king is number 18. At number 17, Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton, the best safety in football. The thing that I love about Kyle Hamilton is he's the plug him in a spot and fix your entire defense safety. You need a nickel corner? It's okay, Kyle Hamilton. You need a strong safety? Okay, Kyle Hamilton. You need a free safety? Sure, why not? Just like the Ravens did last year. We need to stop giving up big plays. Sure, Kyle Hamilton, fix our defense. Make us number one in the NFL. Or you need a linebacker? Sure, Kyle Hamilton, 6'4". Why not? Kyle Hamilton just fixes your whole defense by himself. At number 16, Micah Parsons, planning on helping the Packers, fixing the Packers to be a Green Bay perennial Super Bowl contender. That's what he's hoping to do. Micah Parsons is one of the best pass rushers the sport has seen in recent memory. He has been a game changer for the Dallas Cowboys. When he's on the field, best defense in football since he entered the league. When he's off the field, the second worst defense in the NFL since he entered the league. Versatility, name of his game, explosion, speed, closing speed, name of the game, pass rush, finesse, quickness. Micah Parsons is the Packers' best player from day one. At number 16 is Parsons. Number 15, entering the top 15. Dexter, Sexy, Dexy, Lawrence is number 15. Big bully, best nose tackle in football. Putting up numbers that we've never seen from this position. We've never seen a nose tackle do what he does. We've never seen a nose tackle put up the pass rush pressures that he does. He has legitimate Defensive Player of the Year upside as a nose tackle. He dominates all aspects of the game. He's quick. He's sexy Dexy. At number 14, Lane Johnson. Creating lanes. The man has the perfect name. Creating lanes for Saquon Barkley. Never allowing a lane for a pass rusher to get to Jalen Hurts. Lane Johnson has been the most valuable Philadelphia Eagle for like the last 10 years. That is an unmatched statistic. Lane Johnson on the field, the Eagles are bound to be very good. Lane Johnson not on the field, they might not be as good. At number 14, at number 13, Fred Warner, the best linebacker in all of football. When you combine all the traits, when you combine the length, the size, the speed, the quickness, the IQ, the zone coverage, flip the hips ability, the man coverage ability, the communication skills. Nobody puts really more on a linebacker than the Niners have put on Fred Warner, responsibility-wise, range-wise. They do things with Fred Warner that you can't do with other players. He's a cheat code of a linebacker at number 13. At number 12, TJ Watt. TJ Watt has proven to be more than just the brother of JJ. TJ Watt is a future Hall of Famer. TJ Watt is a game wrecker. When you're talking about a defender, there is no defender in the NFL that in a big moment, in a big spot, in a game, will make the game-changing play. There isn't a bigger playmaker than Pittsburgh's TJ Watt. Sacks, strip sacks, forced fumbles, which he led the NFL, interceptions, who knows? TJ Watt is the biggest playmaker there is. At number 11, speaking of big games, speaking of big moments, speaking of Super Bowls, Christopher Jones, Stone Cold Chris Jones, is at number 11. Chris Jones is so smart. His IQ is off the charts. He always knows what's coming. In every big moment, he gets his hands up, he tips the ball down. It's beyond frustrating to watch from the opponent's lens. He can win on the edge, one-on-one against a tackle. He can win on the inside, one-on-one against a guard. He gets double-teamed constantly. In big games, he stops the run. Chris Jones is one of the most valuable pieces of the puzzle for the Kansas City dynasty. Entering the top 10 players in the NFL. At number 10, Tristan Wirfs. In my opinion, the best offensive lineman, the best tackle in the NFL. He allowed zero sacks last year. He allowed one quarterback hit. One. Not even two. One. Tristan Wirfs is a wall. You might as well not even rush against Tristan Wirfs. There's not even, it's pointless. Why even do it? Put someone somewhere else. Just put a sacrificial lamb over there. Like, why even rush the quarterback? It's not going to work. It doesn't matter. Tristan Wirfs is number 10, best O-lineman in football. Number 9, Pat Surtain. You might as well not even put a receiver on his side. Just put another receiver over somewhere else. And Pat Surtain can travel with the top receiver. So that's a problem for offenses. He can go on the outside. He can go on the nickel position. He can track you down if you're quick. He can track you down if you're big. He's got enough size. He's got enough speed. He's got the technical prowess of the best corners we've ever seen. He has such great technique, such great hands at the line of scrimmage. His press ability, spectacular, right? I just don't think anybody can match his technical prowess. He's just absolutely refined to an absolute T, is Pat Surtain. That's why he's the defensive player of the year. That's why he's the top corner in the game. Man, zone, island, inside, outside, quick, big, small, fast. Doesn't matter the matchup. Pat Surtain takes him on and shuts him down. Number 8, Joe Shiesty. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the best, most precise passer of the football in the game today. The most accurate quarterback. One of the biggest gamers in the game today. This guy makes more plays as a playmaker than you would think. Running around, scrambling around, buying time, seeing down the field. His ability to quickly diagnose a defense is unmatched, in my opinion, at the quarterback position. And his ability to put the ball where he wants it is as good as any quarterback in the game. Joe Burrow, number 8. Number 7, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes boy is at number 7. Despite not having the stats, you have to admire Patrick Mahomes' ability to win and his ability to continuously get the Chiefs to AFC Championship after AFC Championship after AFC Championship. Everybody talks about Josh Allen. Everybody talks about Lamar Jackson. Everybody talks about Joe Burrow. No. Patrick Mahomes is always the guy coming out of the AFC because he's the best game manager in the sport, and I mean that in a positive way. His ability to make the play at the right time. His ability to not make the mistake at the right time. His ability to scramble at the right time. His ability to control the game. His ability to ad-lib. Patrick Mahomes is number 7. At number 6, Justin Jettas Jefferson. Still to be number 2 across the board in basically every single statistical category with a brand new quarterback named Sam Darnold that nobody thought was any good is simply spectacular. The one best thing I can say about Justin Jefferson, we talk about who the best receiver is every single year. Is it Tyreek or is it Jefferson? Is it Chase or is it Jefferson? Is it Kupp or is it Jefferson? There's one name that reigns supreme. Every year, it's the same conversation. There's one guy that remains in the conversation. At number 5, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's the best defender in football right now. At the edge position, he's fast, he's big, he's powerful, he's strong, he dominates the run, he dominates the pass. Nobody demands more respect in double teams, chips, or more attention than Myles Garrett. He can dominate the game in a variety of ways. Stand him up, rush him from the middle, put him in the inside, put him on the outside, rush him from the edge. You basically have to run plays away from Myles Garrett. I'm not sure if there is an edge player that is quite that way, the way that Myles Garrett is. He has a Reggie White-like effect among offenses in the NFL. At number 4, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the most electrifying playmaker in the NFL today. His elusiveness is simply absurd. His elusiveness is simply unmatched, right? His quickness, his speed, his ability to make plays as a runner is incredible. His ability as a passer, not only his precision, but his patience. His ability to create behind the line of scrimmage and buy time for his receiver to get butt-ass naked wide open. I've never quite seen anything like it. Lamar can do it from inside and outside the pocket. The only thing he has to prove is that he can do it in the playoffs at a prime time, big time level. That's the only thing he has yet to prove. He is arguably statistically the best quarterback we've seen the last couple of years. I don't think he's been the best, but I think he has been the most productive. I love Lamar. He is an amazing player. I have him at number 4. At number 3, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase with the triple crown. It's disgusting he did not receive a single Offensive Player of the Year vote. Jamar Chase is absolutely electric. His ability to create a curl route into a touchdown is unmatched. His ability after the catch is ludicrous. The first guy doesn't tackle him. His ability to combine that with an ability to get downfield and just straight go by somebody is unmatched. His hands are ridiculous. His timing with Joe Burrow is terrifying. He's a Terminator. Leads the NFL in receiving, leads the NFL in receptions, leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns. What did this guy not do last year? At number 2, Saquon Barkley. The one thing I'll say about Saquon Barkley, I only imagine what his career would be if he wouldn't have been drafted by the Giants. What if he would have been on the Eagles his entire career? What would we be saying about Saquon Barkley? Would he be in a top 10 running back conversation of all time? A top 5 running back conversation of all time? What would we be talking about when it comes to Saquon Barkley? The first year he gets to Philadelphia, not only does he set records, not only does he nearly break a long-time reigning record of Eric Dickerson, but he smashes playoff records. It might have been the best season of a running back I've seen from front to back, from regular season to postseason I've ever seen as a runner, as an explosive game-breaking threat. The highlights, it's captured for history, for Madden, the cover boy. I'm so happy for Saquon. Humble guy, one of my favorite players from day one, and honestly doesn't even get really the recognition for receiving skills because they don't really use him in that way. But he's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. He's just getting started, honestly. It feels like. So at number 2, Saquon. And at number 1, entering 2025, I would have said Saquon best player of 2024. Entering 2025, best player, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the best player, and I'll put it this way. When we talk about the best rosters in football, we bring up the Ravens. The Chiefs rank higher than the Bills. Right? Where do the Bills rank? Who's the Bills' best receiver? Who's the Bills' best weapon? Who's the Bills' best defender? Who's the Bills' offensive coach? You go down the list. Who are the Pro Bowlers on the Bills? This guy didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver last year. Josh Allen is the most valuable player by the name of the game, by the definition of the word. He is the running game. He is the passing game. He is the spirit, the heart, the soul of Buffalo. He is the team. He is the hope. He is Superman. That's why he's number 1. He is the guy that you would take first in a fantasy draft of all the players in the NFL if you were starting a franchise. Because he doesn't need Andy Reid. He doesn't need 9 Pro Bowlers on his team. You could put him on any team, in any scheme, in any system, with any coach, and he'd be great. It doesn't matter. He's proven it. At number 1, Josh Allen. That is the real top 100 players of 2025. Thank you guys for watching. It's Mitch. Appreciate you all tuning in and watching the whole video. If you enjoyed, Gronk spike the like button, and don't be a jabroni. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on my entire list for 2025. Remember, it's entering 2025, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace, guys.